Animal House Radio via animalhouseradio.com. Brought to you in part by Hill's Pet Nutrition, the makers of Science Diet, Prescription Diet, Pet Food. So we're going to talk a little bit right now about getting in shape and getting fit with your pets. 1-877-885-PETS. 1-877-885-7387 is the phone number to the program. Remember, you can always call up and win a scoop-free system courtesy of scoopfree.com.
Yeah.
So let's talk about getting in shape with your animal. We talked about socializing, obviously, with your animal. Let's just say, okay, obviously, if you have a young pup or if you have an animal under the age of 5 years of age, gives you the ability to walk a lot longer.
Right.
So certain breeds may be more beneficial to you as opposed to some breeds, like a boxer or some other lazy type of breeds, where it's like, yeah, okay, 2 seconds, I'm done. And then you're like, okay, well, you know, I was lucky, and so were you. You have dogs that have high energy that like to go out for long walks. So I think that's probably key to figure out.
What I've had people call me and say, you know what, I like to jog, and you know, what kind of breed could I actually take out for a 5 or 10 mile run? And I'll talk to them about pointers and certain breeds that are really high energy that require a lot of exercise. And then I've had the opposite. I've had people come and say, yeah, I want a dog who, in my condo, and I want to laze around, do nothing. Well, pointer is the last dog you want to have because they'll drive you crazy. And part of the reason why exercise is so important, aside from the fact that, just like us, they live longer, pets live longer when they exercise, is that it actually is a great way to expend energy. Like a lot of dogs, especially high-energy dogs like Romeo, man, if you kept him cooped up all day, can you imagine what kind of nut bar he'd be? He's already nuts already, but, he'd be double nut bar if he didn't get any walks.
Well, he's old, so, you take him for a long walk, and he gets tired a lot quicker.
Right.
But at least he
gets some energy off, and, and so he's not eating your carpet.
No, he's a great dog. He's never done
it. No, but I know a lot of dogs, if you don't exercise them properly, and
they'll take it out in other ways. Yeah,
and if you watch, guys like Cesar Millan, a lot of the behavior problems, the reason why dogs... Yeah,
Stop it. Listen to
but a lot of these behavior problems, the first thing he recommends is exercise. And because he knows that a dog who's got aggressive energy, if you walk it out of them, they won't be aggressive anymore. Or at least less likely to be anyway when they're tired. So expending nervous energy is probably one of the most important reasons why you should exercise your pet. And, of course, they live longer. People say to me, well, how do I know I can take my dog out for X, Y, Z? And I always say, bring him to your local vet. And I think that you should first of all, have your pet checked out, make sure that they're healthy enough to exercise. Some dogs have heart murmurs. It's funny. I had a dog in the other day, and she said, we normally take him, for a mile-long walk, and we got like 200 feet out of the house, and the dog dropped. And anyway, he ended up having a horrible heart murmur. You wouldn't know it looking at the dog, but he had horrible heart disease. And his heart began getting worse and worse and worse until finally at the point where the dog literally collapsed. So you need to, make sure that you're taking your dog in for an annual checkup at your local vet. And
walk to the vet.
Right. Walk to the yeah, that's true. Unless your dog has horrible heart disease, then don't walk to the vet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's important to first have your vet check them out. And then your veterinarian, based on the breed, can tell you what breeds are good and bad to walk. Like, for instance, in this kind of weather we've been having lately, my Boston Terrier, pugs, those kind of dogs with the squishy faces, bulldogs, some squishy face boxers. Those guys have a lot of respiratory problems. They will actually have a lot of trouble walking in the dead days of summer where it's really hot and really humid. It actually affects them a lot. The longer-haired breeds as well. The big fuzzy huskies hate this kind of weather because they're Arctic breeds. So there's certain breeds that don't do well with exercise in the summer. And then there's breeds that just love the summer walks, like Labrador Retrievers.
I'm looking at
we've got a German Shepherd on a treadmill, and you know what? There are a lot of people who can do that. And yes, if you're too lazy to get out, then or if you're into exercising in the doors because you have the fear of going outside.
Tripped up a little bit.
Yeah,
okay.
you put the dog on the treadmill after you go on the treadmill. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and Janelle's saying, I'm clicking my highlighter. Stop that. Okay, sorry, Janelle. Nervous energy. I got to exercise now.
We're watching these animals get in shape. There's tons of ways over here. Treadmill training.
Yeah, treadmill training. Water. Cottage time. Exercising.
Look at this one go.
This guy, we have an image on YouTube of this dog, German Shepherd, literally running on a treadmill, which is kind of cool. But exercising in the water, that's another one that's really good. The one thing I have to caution people about, we call them the weekend warrior dogs, is that, here your dog during the week is sitting at home doing absolutely nothing because you decide not to exercise them. Then you go to the cottage over the weekend, and now your Labrador Retriever, who's sat on his duff for 5 days is now swimming in the lake for 6 hours a day. I have definitely seen these guys get really sick really fast because they're just not. They'll. The biggest problem with dogs is they will overdo it sometimes. They really will. So you have to be careful with your weekend warrior Labrador retrievers or golden retrievers that you don't let them swim hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, especially if they're not used to exercising during the week.